Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, and in today's video it's going to be just like my personal look at the most important ePaper moments of 2024. Why I'm not doing like top 10 list, best e-readers, best note takers and stuff of 2024? Well, simply because a lot of the releases this year are actually very late, and a lot of the really important releases are basically coming out in December or late December of 2024. So instead of doing that, I'm going to push that for January once all of the stuff is actually out and I have it here so that I can give you my honest impression. So that's why this video is a personal look at important ePaper moments of 2024. And while I don't have any personal experience or hands-on experience right here in my hand with the new Kindle Color ePaper-like thingy, whatever it's called, the first Kindle in color, I did have an opportunity to actually just test it out and check it out. I think that just the fact that we have now a color Kindle device, the first color e-ink Kindle device, is important on its own. From what I've seen, that brief testing that I've seen, it's fine, it's okay, but it's again a Kaleido 3 device with inherent flaws that Kaleido technology brings with it, and also the price is, yeah, I think it was like something like equivalent of $280, which is like absolutely absurd for something like that. So while it is an important moment that Kindle has a color device, the rest of the stuff that I've seen was not that exciting for me personally. So Color Kindle would be at the place number 5. At place number 4, I would put the Dasung paper-like color screen, because it does actually bring something genuinely new to the world of ePaper. And yes, the price is really high. Yes, it is very limited and the calibration of the modes is beyond ridiculous. I mean, somebody needs to make a proper calibration of those modes so that you can have at least a mode that displays all of the colors correctly for an Excel sheet, so that you can use this device in real world for something more than reading. However, you do get like an unprecedented level of clarity and speed combined on such a large e-ink panel, and that is something that we genuinely did not have before. Let's put aside the absolutely absurdity of the marketing, which is godlike speed, that they have for their device, which partially I absolutely adore, that we do have a product that uses that. I can't even describe to you how happy it makes me that that moment exists, that somebody in this line of reality and in this universe actually decided to, yeah, that's a good idea, we're going with that. Anyway, it's a really important product, I think, and I hope that with a firmware update that they can actually update the calibration of those display modes, because that, I think, is the only real problem that I experience with that screen. Because when you have a mode that works correctly, it really is an awesome experience to actually use for reading, typing, coding, browsing. It feels very, very different, especially on a large panel like that. Coupled with USB-C connectivity, the stand that can go portrait, landscape, and all these kinds of things. So that's why Dasung Paper-like Color is fourth most important e-paper development of 2024. On spot number 3, I personally would put the Supernote A6X2. Although technically it is something that has been released at the late December of 2023. So it was basically like the last 10 days or last week of December of 2023. So that's why technically I feel that it's okay that it's actually carried into 2024, because only starting from January 2024 did it start to actually get into people's hands and distributed all over the place and gain traction and all that kind of stuff. More importantly, throughout the 2024, this platform has received significant updates and important fixes as well, because once it will, at first when it was released, it actually had some annoying issues issues that took a while for Rata to fix, but they finally did. And once everything was kind of put in place, tightened up and fixed up, and then that showed just how important of a tablet this one actually is and how handy it is, because even now, when you have a myriad of other competitors actually coming around and doing these different things, yeah, there's just something about this whole package and the platform and the two sliders and like everything stacks up so that a whole experience with the SuperNote A5X2, or sorry, A6X2, is one that I think is an important development for the year 2024. On spot number 2, I would put Book's Go 10.3 as one of the second most important moment of ePaper devices in 2024, mainly because a major player like Books, who shied away from the front light because the majority of people are just saying like, yeah, front light, we need front light, we want front light, and it's just basically the safe thing to go for. They broke the mold. They kind of went like, okay, let's try and go back to devices without the front light and see what happens. And furthermore, they didn't just try and remove the front light from a Note Air 3, for example, and then refurbish that and package it, because honestly, that's what I would expect. No, Go 10.3 is basically a surprise from start to finish, because it has a 300 ppi monochromatic screen, which delivers an incredible level of clarity, contrast, and whiteness, and all of the stuff. Like really, basically the yardstick in image quality today, as far as the standards, as far as the e-ink devices go. No front light, super thin, super portable, super nicely made, just like a really, really properly good device that actually breaks the mold and the stalemate that I believe we started to get into in 2023. So that's why Go 10.3 is on the second place. But the first place, and for me personally, the most important moment of ePaper developments, or moments of 2024, has to be the Remarkable Paper Pro. And no, not for the reasons that it's like, oh, it's a new Remarkable tablet and therefore it has to be like, oh, it's so new and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely not. I really don't care about that part at all. The thing that I care about is basically what Remarkable Paper Pro represents and what it brings to the table. And in a similar fashion, like with the Go 10.3, where I was talking about that it breaks the mold, it breaks the stalemate, and breaks all that, challenges things that are generally accepted. Well, no device on the market represents that better than the Remarkable Paper Pro. There are many, many negative things that you can associate with this device, and justifying the flickering, the hardness when you initially tap on it, and all that kind of stuff. Like, absolutely, we can discuss like if it's this device for you or not. But as far as an important moment of an e-paper world in 2024, there isn't a single bigger and more important event than this. Why? Well, because it's challenging what we thought it was possible with a technology that was so sidelined that it was almost thrown away, the Gallery 3 panel. These guys said like, let's try and see what can we Frankenstein up from this thing and make it work better than the producer themselves have imagined that it can work. And they've managed. So for me, that point alone would have been enough to put it in this place, but it doesn't actually end there. They break the mold by going for a controversial decision of making, hey, we're gonna have our own active pen, and some people are really not gonna be okay with it objectively, so for many reasons, objectively not gonna be okay with that, but at least they believed in their vision and they just went like, look, we want to try this, and gosh darn it, so shall we do it. And then they deliver writing latency of 13 milliseconds, which no device, like no other device at all, not just ePaper devices, no other device actually is able to deliver that type of writing latency. I think people are overlooking that fact, that that's just like, oh yeah, Remarkable is now the fastest one again. 13 milliseconds is the fastest in the world of any device that we currently have. and then you couple that with, oof, so close to perfect writing experience, except for that hardness that happens. I hope that they maybe come up with a different type of nib that maybe kind of addresses that. But even so, that again is like, okay, respect for that kind of decision. And then to top it all off, they put it in this format, 11.8 inch or whatever it is, which just turns out to be the most perfect format that I have ever actually worked on. 13.3 too big, 10.3 a little bit too small. This is like the Goldilocks standard. So when coupled with all of those things, the decisions that were made to actually make this device happen, the bravery, the madness, all of the stuff that actually goes in tow with what's needed to make something like this, not just a reality, but then push it to users and have it happen. I have mad respect for Remarkable development team and for the Remarkable Paper Pro. No, it is not a device for everyone. Yes, it absolutely has flaws. And no, it's not even a perfect device for me. But that does not prevent me from acknowledging what it represents and absolutely respecting the fact that it actually exists. So for those reasons, I think that absolutely Remarkable Paper Pro deserves that #1 spot for 2024. Well, okay, that's it from me. I hope that you found the video and some of the insights interesting and or informative. Please do let me know what your thoughts are on these entries, on my personal take on these kinds of things. And also I invite you to contribute to the discussion in the comments down below with your opinion about which devices were important ePaper moments of 2024 for you personally. So just remember, this is to be a discussion about your own personal opinion and about your own personal preferences, not like super objective thing. No. It's just like you personally. What do you feel? What do you think? So I shared my end of this equation, so I'm interested to hear about your end as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!